Well, here it is, the 013 Boss 302. Gotta have it green. Very Mopar-esque in its color choice. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it comes in that school bus yellow and the green, and I don't even know what else now. Maybe just black?
I love the school bus yellow, which is basically orange, but that to me, I'm a traditionalist. You've been driving this car.
I have been. This has been so much fun to drive. Best Mustang ever made. We had the GT500 on here, and that car is crazy horsepower, great for drag racing, but this car is been my favorite one.
Yeah, I just drove the car. 4-cam motor, aluminum block, aluminum heads.
4-cam. It's essentially the same motor that's in the Boss 30 or just the regular Mustang GT, being 4-cam, 4-valve. But the motor's completely built. It's got forged pistons, forged rods. It's got ported heads, different cams, different valve springs.
Right.
The oil pan is different. So when you road race the hell out of it, it's been baffled to 1G turns. Thing's crazy, and it's 7,500 RPM.
I know, and it's crazy to see an American car, much less a V8, pulling well past 7. I just drove the car. It pulls like crazy. It's fun, it's taut, it's got the cloth Recaro seats in it. I mean, you know me, I've never been a Mustang fan because first I just thought, they had their era when they first came out. It was kind of that sort of mid-sized performance car, and I like the fastbacks and, of course, the Shelby GT350s and all that, and the Rs and all that kind of stuff. And then I just felt like they completely lost their way for 20 years almost.
Yeah, for a little while there.
And the 5.0 was kind of cool and stuff, but it was always a little bit plasticky, and the big screw-on antenna on the front fender, and the little things. They wouldn't go away from some of the things that they needed to say goodbye to. And this car, color aside, probably is no BS. The interior looks sharp, just finally giving you a steering wheel that felt good to hang on to. And
this one has the Alcantara steering wheel in it.
And giving you seats that are well bolstered. And
it's fast around a track. This is M3 territory. This is damn near Audi R8 territory.
And, in a good 6-speed transmission and 4 cams and all the stuff that was coming out of Europe for so many years that they always held back on.
But it doesn't lose the muscle car feel to it.
No. And so what's this car, what's the base price for the Boss 302?
So this car as it sits, the only options on this car I think are just the Recaro seats that are almost $2,000 and the color, which is a few hundred. This car is $46,000.
Yeah.
And I want to say, it's naturally aspirated, but it's supposed to do somewhere around 15 mile per gallon city, 25 highway. I'm not getting that, but I'm trying like hell, but I'm not getting it.
I don't think there's
444 horse.
Yeah,
which is only feels like 30 more than the regular car, but the engine to me is different. Like the way it winds up, the noises it makes, it's just completely different engine.
So there's nothing in the 40s or mid 40s price wise that's going to touch this car from a performance standpoint that I can think of.
No, when I bought my M3, I had a 99 M3. That was a car that I bought for $42,000. M3 now is what, $60,000?
Yeah.
So to get in the mid 40s for a car like this is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And it has still a lot of neat features that you can go into this track apps deal that's on the dash. It has a little Christmas tree for drag racing. Mm-hmm. You can adjust the steering sensitivity because it's electric steering for comfort, normal, and sport.
Right. Yeah, it's
you just drove it now, and with the traction control on, it was still braking loose. So it's very forgiving on the. It's not a lot of computer, Big Brother looking over you.
Well, why don't we fire it up so we can give it a listen. Now, should I stay in here? Because I know it's got these side pipe things.
Yeah, so this car, it has the regular exhaust with an H-pipe, crossover pipe, but then the Boss 302 and the Laguna Seca version has side pipes that are kind of hidden underneath, but it's not a full exhaust. It's a small diameter tube, like a 2-inch tube, and then it goes real flat. It dumps out right here by the rocker panel, but it's hidden behind there. And there's it bolts on with 2 bolts, and there's a plate in between. The plates have been removed on this version, so when you hear it, it sounds great.
But it's after the catalytic converters.
Yes, after the cats.
but before the exhaust.
Before
the mufflers. Yeah, that sounds. Pop the hood here. Yeah,
that's about 5,500 RPM. This goes to 75. This thing sounds great.
This thing sounds great. And the engine, you tell me the engine looks great.
Yeah, it's got a different, I'll get it here.
Is this, I can't do this anymore.
It's there. You got your hand in the right place.
I got my hand on it, but which way does it go? I'm just feeling it. Oh, all right, let me say this. I think it's my M3 that when you pop the thing, the little hook pops out right here.
Yeah,
Let's
they need
just
more
do
of that
with all cars. Wow.
So the different intake manifold, it's supposed to be sort of a box style manifold. And for the Mustang guys and the Fox body Mustang guys, they'll understand that terminology a little bit more. But it's a shorter runner than the regular one, so it gets a little more on the high-end RPM range.
Wow.
The big 4-valve cylinder heads, and it's got some neat features on it. For example, the suspension, you can pop these off. The suspensions are 5-way adjustable, front and rear.
Wow.
You just plug in a screwdriver there, and I think it comes from the factory set at 2, which is a fairly soft setting. When you dial this into 5,
I got to say,
on the racetrack,
I'm looking at the blue valve covers and thinking of the Ford GT.
Yeah.
And when the Ford GT came out and it had the supercharger on there, I was like, I don't want a supercharger. I want 4 cams. I want 4 valves.
Yeah.
I want the original was never supercharged. I want some stacks, like how they had the Webers, the downdraft Webers on there. But I mean, to me, I want a super high revving, naturally aspirated.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's down 50 horsepower. I want something. And to me, even though obviously it's down horsepower, and then by the way, technology's moved on, it's been 6 years or whatever it's been, maybe more. This is the kind of motor that I'd like in that car.
I want this engine in my old Mustang as a crate engine.
Right.
You can buy this as a crate engine. And you know what? It's 444, and that's as it sits. A cold air intake, a custom tune, some long tube headers, you're at 500 horsepower all day long.
Yeah.
The front here, compared to the GT, they've deleted the fog lights.
Right.
Now, when you're driving around, the cars today, the grille is mostly covered for aerodynamics, for fuel efficiency. But when you go to the racetrack,
you pop them
you
out.
pop these out.
Wow.
And you get more air into the radiators when you're driving at the racetrack.
You can go to CarCast.com, go to amcarolla.com.
AceCarCast.com.
Ace CarCast, find it, find all the pictures, find our car. Really cool piece, and like I said, I don't like a lot of Mustangs, and this car's fun to drive. So, until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Matt, the Motorator, DeAndrea, saying, keep the air in the spare and the bag in the wheel.